What's up, you guys, and welcome to another RT Online anime review. This time I'll be reviewing an anime called Your Lie in April. This anime came out very recently, and I had just gotten the pleasure of watching it with my friend Taylor. He recommended it to me, and I stayed over at his house. I was up till 7 in the morning watching this anime. We started it at 9 o'clock. He fell asleep eventually, but I couldn't sleep. I was watching this anime till 7. And you might have seen a video that I uploaded recently called Your Lie in April will crush your soul, because it did. It really got to me. It's a very sad anime, but I also have to commend it for being a very well-made anime. But before I get into that, let's get into the story of Your Lie in April. This is also a spoiler-free review. I'll do my best to not spoil it. It's only about 22 episodes, so if you haven't seen it, you can go try and watch it on Crunchyroll. If you got an Xbox Gold membership, you can watch Crunchyroll for free, so go check that out. It's called Your Lie in April. Anyways, story goes, our main character, Kousei, he was a piano prodigy when he was 8 years old. His mother had pushed him to his limits trying to learn the piano, and his mother had caught an illness, and she said that the only way to make her feel better was if Kousei won all these piano competitions, so he entered in a lot of them. His first performance was iffy, but as soon as he started playing, the audience was entranced. He was absolutely incredible at the piano. He influenced many people, and he became a celebrity, and he was still treated normally by his friends, but worldwide they always wanted him to enter these competitions. But eventually his mother died, and he didn't want to play the piano anymore, because he ended up, when he plays the piano now, he always sees his mother, and it makes him go deaf. He can't hear anything on the piano. And he's just terrified of playing it in front of people, because he'll start playing it normally, and then suddenly he can't hear the piano, and he just stops playing. He gets so terrified. And his mother, really psychologically affected him from the piano. So the anime begins, and Kousei, he doesn't really play the piano at all. But eventually he runs across this girl named Kaori, who is just playing she's playing this keyboard instrument. It's like a flute. I think it's called a melodica. I could get that wrong, but it's like a keyboard piano that she was blowing through. It was kind of weird, but it was a cool looking instrument. But he sees her, and he suddenly sees color again, as in metaphorical terms. Things were always monotonous around him, but when he saw her, he started seeing color again. That's how he phrased it. More into that when you actually watch it. And it's actually a spoiler if I go too far into that. And he starts hanging around this girl, but she likes his best friend, and his friends introduce her to him as Friend A. And they address Kousei as Friend A as a joke, but eventually Kaori gets Kousei to start playing the piano again in competitions, and she accompanies him, and he's the accompanist. It's absolutely crazy. He gets to start playing the piano again, thanks to Kaori, and the rest of the anime is his journey to really finding himself again, not living under his mom's shadow, and following this mysterious girl who came out of nowhere, whose life is music. I think it's a great anime. Honestly, it's in my top 10 now. I'm thinking about doing a top 10 list revised, because I did a top 20 list on anime way back then, but since then I've watched a lot of new anime, and I have a lot of new opinions on them, and this is one of the ones that, after I finished it, after I was done crying for about 40 minutes, I realized this is a fucking incredible anime. And now that the story's out of the way, I can't speak any more about the story, but let me tell you about the anime itself. Not only is this a beautiful looking anime, it's a beautiful sounding anime. It's heavily based around music, and there's a lot of scenes where there's no dialogue. It's all inner thoughts of the person playing the instrument, and you really get to go through the psychological steps that people take when they're on stage playing their instrument that they love. There are many scenes with Kousei where he begins playing normally, and then something will happen, and you're in his mind, you're in his trouble. You understand his pain and why he doesn't want to play the piano anymore. And there are these scenes that are just beautifully animated, and you really get to feel for this character. And that's one of the strong points of this anime, are the characters. There's really only 4 main characters, with a few getting introduced later on. And I think they're all... I don't think they're cliche characters. I think they're very original, and that's That's what I really got from this anime, is how original it is. It breaks a few anime cliches. It's not a harem. It's a kind of balanced anime. There's 2 main character girls and there's 2 main character guys, and I think they're all important. But the main character, the main one, Kousei, it's following him throughout the story. Sorry about that. I get a little choked up whenever I think about this anime. It really impacted me that much. As for the animation, I think it came out recently, and that's what I love about modern animes, is that they really put the time into animating things. Like, when they're waving, you could see their hand moving. Like, it's not like it's a fluid animation. And sometimes it'll go into 3D animation when they're playing a certain instrument, which I think looks great too. And this anime also, for their characters, I think they did the lips differently. Like, usually in anime, the main points are the eyes and the hair. But in this one, it's the lips, eyes, and hair that are defining traits of them. Like, the lips, it may not be much, but it actually makes the character look better, in my opinion. Like, I never really thought that the lips mattered much, but now when I look at other anime and like how their lips look, they're just lines. In this one, they always have defined lips. Like, whenever you're watching anime, the only time they have defined lips is when they're about to kiss each other. In this one, they're always ready for a kiss, and I think it makes the girls look beautiful, and the guys a lot more expressive. Both of them more expressive, but the girls especially. The girls in this anime, whew, we got new crushes all over the damn place. It's a very well-made anime. I think the story, if you're a very emotional type of person, I think this story will really get to you. These characters are in the 8th grade. I always forget that. It always weirds me out. And they look like they're in high school. And the age is just so different. Like, they have flashbacks when they were 8, and they look like they're 5. And then in the current time, they're 14, but they look 18. It's I don't know. I think it's the way their faces are, or like how they talk. Like, they're very mature for their age. But Your Lie in April, it's an absolutely fantastic anime. I couldn't believe it when I was watching it. Like, my friend told me it was extremely sad, and in the beginning parts I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be strong. I'm gonna try not to cry. And by the last episode, I was drenched in tears. It was a beautiful anime. I can't. It's really hard. It's a really hard anime to recommend because it's not an anime filled with actions. Like, the climactic and suspenseful scenes are when Kousei is playing the piano. Like, I kid you not, those were actually more exciting than some fight scenes in anime that I've seen recently. Like, it may sound like I'm exaggerating, but really, like, you're watching those, you're silent. Like, you're in the minds of these people. You're rooting for them. You want to see them overcome these challenges. Everyone who plays an instrument in this anime is overcoming something, and you're seeing that psychological development while they're playing this instrument. It is beautiful. I mean, yeah, that's really the best word I can say to describe this anime. It's beautiful in all corners of it. In the art design, in the writing, the music, and just the opening and the ending. Well, I always skip the ending, but the opening's good. I liked it a lot. And they have 2 different openings. This is like one anime, like, it has a section that it cuts off. Like, there's a few episodes where it plays the first opening, and then the last few it'll play the second opening. Which there's only 22 episodes, but some people might consider the seasons, but I just consider this one whole giant story. It's not a season. I feel like this is where it ends. Like, it's just one story. Sort of like Gurren Lagann, where it had 27 episodes and no plans of having another season. Not every anime has to have a season. It could just be one big story, you know? But Your Lie in April is a great story. If you have time, watch it. Don't marathon it like I did. That's not good. I lost a lot of sleep doing that, and I gotta work hard this week. So, I tried getting my sleep back. I think I am. I look awake, don't I? I mean, I feel awake, so I guess I got my sleep back. But don't marathon it. Although, if you do get hooked on it, I don't see you stopping. It's a very addicting anime to watch, but I'm not going to watch it again for a while. I don't want to do that to myself. Not just staying awake, but really getting to me. Like, crying. Holy crap, I was crying a lot in this anime. It's probably the saddest one I've ever seen. Yeah, Canon for the longest time was the saddest one, and then after I watched this, I'm like, oh man, this is actually sadder than Canon. I didn't think that was possible, but it is. But don't let the sad factor be the only reason you watch this. Like, really, really watch it. It's such a unique anime. Like, oh man, it's beautiful. Okay, but I tried not to do any spoilers, and I did, so good for me. I actually didn't do any spoilers, but yeah, go look it up. You can watch it on Crunchyroll. I'm sure there's other sites to watch it on, but since it came out recently, it might not be that easy to find, so I highly recommend Crunchyroll. Alright, well that's my review of Your Lie in April. I want to do more anime reviews, and since I haven't recorded on my consoles in a while, it may be a good thing to do. Okay, and then for those of you who are already subscribed to me, this is for people who have been watching my stuff. If you're new here and you're watching this video, you could kind of stop right here, it doesn't really matter. But I am almost done with everything that I've been working on. I know that my videos have not been very consistent because I've been working very hard. This week is the last week though. My show is gonna premiere at my school on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. This play I've been putting a lot of time into. I love this play. I think it's a fantastic show. And I want to make sure that I give it my all, and I want to make sure that I can get people to go because it's very important to me. It's my last show at my high school, and I really want it to be good. But yeah, that's about it. So Your Lie in April, highly recommend watching that if you live in the Concord, California area. Try and get to Mount Diablo at 7 o'clock either Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday if you live around here. But if you're in another state, then forget about it. But I'll make sure to tell you guys how it is in one of my recording videos. So I hope you had a good time on Ride Time. I will see you all next time.